Hello. Thank you so much for being here today for the final session, the final evening keynote for this wonderful event, which is the future of work in an AI native world. My name is Brian Madden. It is my first time here speaking at this event. Congratulations to the team organizing this fantastic event. I hope to come and visit you in the future. I am a futurist for Citrix. And today, though, I'm going to be talking about the future of work and the future of end-user computing in this context of AI. I'm not talking about Citrix, though. I'm just talking about the future in general, so not related to the day job. I did notice there's a few other people who are American-sounding here, but they make a point to point out that they're like Canadian or something like that, so I just want to say, like, from my standpoint, je suis américain, mais maintenant j'habite à Paris. There we go. So the future of work in an AI native world. First of all, I guess we have to talk about AI, right? Because AI means lots of different things. Like, for example, AI could mean the AI capabilities in the products that you use. You buy products, they have co-pilots and things like that in them. Another sort of type of AI is AI in the apps that you build internally. You're building chatbots, or building language models, or building types of things like that. Another type of AI could be the AI that is shaping your end-user workplaces. And this is the specific AI that I'm talking about today. So end-user computing, our users, our human workers out there, how is AI impacting their world? And more specifically, for all of us who are responsible for managing and maintaining and sort of controlling our user environments, how is that AI impacting our world? So this is what I call workplace AI, because it's the AI that directly affects the workplace. So the question about the future of work in an AI native world and the AI impact, a lot of people are asking the first question, well, will AI have an impact on the workplace? Yes, okay, great, next question. When will AI have an impact on the workplace? Now, there we go, that's fantastic, we get it, because that's the thing. AI's not coming, the AI is already in the building. It's really happening already today, and if you think about it, I mean, gosh, it's us, we're nerds, but also our workers, our end users, our friends and colleagues. I mean, all of us probably have friends now who are using AI and using ChatGPT who are not technical people. They're just using it on their own, and we're very sort of impressed because people are using today things like ChatGPT to help them with rewriting text and documents. They're using it to help summarize things. They're using it to brainstorm. They're using it, heck, I'm using it. We're flipping between screens, my AI screen and my other productivity applications. I'm copying and pasting back and forth from apps into ChatGPT and ChatGPT back to my apps. I'm asking it for next steps and project plans and how you think I should do this. So this is the way that the AI is in the workplace today. And the thing is, this is a transformation from the bottom up. It's a lot more like that consumerization of IT. This isn't something that we are dictating as IT from above and pushing down into our user land. This is coming from the bottom up. And it's interesting because a lot of people I still feel like are waiting for AI. They're waiting for the impact. They're waiting for it like this massive wave of a tsunami that's going to happen. And they're looking out the window and saying, well, it's raining a little bit, but I don't really see that 200-meter high wave. But of course, how do tsunamis actually happen? Like, oh, my shoes are wet. Well, it's not even raining that hard. Oh, my socks are wet. Oh, there we go. And so we find that little bit by bit, like the rising water, this AI is coming. It's here. It's coming bit by bit by bit. And what's interesting to me is where it hasn't filled yet, boy, those are some wild, wild times ahead of us. By the way, I told you that my role at Citrix is as a futurist. What in the world does a futurist do? I live here, trying to figure that out. And so the AI is impacting our workplaces today. And if you think about it, in these small little ways, if I look at a bunch of different workers and I say, all of our jobs, you've probably heard this before, are just a series of tasks. Each of us has dozens or hundreds of different things we do that make up our jobs. And today, some of those tasks can be handled by AI. My clicker is vibrating like crazy. I don't know if it means it's liking what I'm saying or if it's the AI that's listening to what I'm saying. But so of the tasks we have, there's some tasks that AI can do. And we're seeing that in our own workflows. Like we're outsourcing some things now to AI. And what's interesting, so we can sort of take the tasks that AI does and like that frees up our plate. It frees our agendas to have more time to do other sorts of things. And so now we have some empty spaces in our workday. And we can do different things with that. We can work less, we can work more, we can take on more tasks. It's funny too, because even though the tasks that we are doing with AI, it's just a little few things here and there. AI is not doing 90% of my job, it's doing 5% or 6% or something like that here and there. 6% for one person is not interesting. 6% across the whole company, well, now that becomes really interesting, and it leads to some interesting situations like that we're starting to see more and more in the news. When you start to realize that, oh, AI can do a lot more from a lot of people, I can sort of stack it up, and now all of a sudden, do I need as many people? And we're seeing layoffs in our industries and all industries that are sort of being blamed on AI, even though AI isn't real yet and isn't doing a lot of stuff, but it's doing a little bit of things for a lot of people. And by the way, that's just today's AI. What happens next is, okay, the AI gets better, and the next set of tasks that AI could not do before, it's now able to do for us. So this, for me, is the interesting thing about AI is even these small impacts we have today, when taken in aggregate, make very big impacts on the organization. I talk about workplace AI, right? The AI that's impacting our human workers in their jobs. Well, workplace AI, a couple truths about it. Number one, workplace AI is worker-led. Workplace AI is using the same workspace as the humans. We're using these AI tools as applications, as web pages, as sidebars to our productivity applications. This AI is living in the same world that we are living in. The back end exists in some cloud interface or something like that, but the AI and the interface is within our world. So this means that there's a balance between the AI and us as humans, what we do versus what the AI do. And that balance, it's not like an on or off. It's not like your job is replaced by AI, overnight suddenly. It's that there's times where we use some AI more and human less. There's some times when we use humans more and we use AI less. And it kind of flows back and forth in almost an analog way. You can imagine one worker, sort of before AI, they just had a work stream that was all the work that they're doing. And then we have some AI capabilities, and we can look at that coming in as any point on that sliding scale. Like I'm doing more work, the AI is doing more work. Some days it's more, some days it's less, but it tends to progress towards the AI itself is able to do more and more of the tasks that I do. It's interesting, I guess I drew this in a way that's like the more AI does, the less the human does, which, sure, that's an absolutely valid way to do it. I don't feel like that's the case with me personally. I feel like I'm still doing the same amount of work that I always was. I'm using AI to do even more work and for me to be able to produce more content and more output because I have AI. And by the way, I'm not using just one AI. Like I've got, I'm using ChatGPT and OpenAI products for things. I'm using the Microsoft stack for things. I'm using the Google stack for things. So each of these things sort of stack and stack and stack. And you realize over time that my level of work is not changing, but my productive output because of these AIs I'm using is becoming more and more. In fact, you realize that you turn into a superhero. I mean, I tell people this. I am a super worker. The work I'm doing right now in my day job every day, no joke, I think would be a team of like 3 people. I could imagine me and another kind of senior-ish type person and maybe a junior type person that 4 years ago in this role, the content I produce, the speed I turn it around, the output, all of that, I feel like absolutely would have been a team of 3 people, and now I am a superhero within my organization, and I'm doing the work of 3 people. And it's interesting because as AI evolves, the amount of work that the AI can do on my behalf is going to continue to increase. I mean, in October of 2022, this is when ChatGPT came out publicly, which is less than 3 years ago. Can we believe that? Yeah, it starts to come out, like when ChatGPT first came out, it was a separate application, a standalone app, and I type into it, I turn around, I type into my applications, I'm copying and pasting back and forth. But as time goes on, AI is a separate application. That's where we are today. But then we're seeing people talk about AI is like able to watch our screen and observe what we're doing. Then AI is able to make suggestions. Then AI is able to take small actions with permission, probably while I'm watching it and seeing what it's doing. And then maybe I trust it a little bit more, and I trust it enough to sort of leave it running while I go get a coffee for a few minutes, then come back and make sure it hasn't emptied my bank account into crypto or something like that. But we're getting bit by bit by bit by bit. So even though I'm a superhero today doing the work of 3 people, what am I doing next week, next month, next year? 4 people, 5 people, 6 people? Very, very, very small little steps. And this AI that we're using, this workplace AI or this user-facing AI, this is continuing to evolve. We saw this. ChatGPT came out, it's text-based generalist chatbots. After a little while, we started to get text-based specialist chatbots, a specialist having like, specific domain knowledge for like a medical field or a legal field or something like that. We saw image, audio, and video capabilities added into these models. We now have visual thinking. The latest models, ChatGPT 4.0, the GPT 4.0 model, for example, actually can reason visually. So it's not taking pictures and turning it into its tokens and turning it back into pictures, which visual reasoning means, for example, like these AIs today can solve a maze. They can read your slides. They can understand really what's happening within an image. You're all seeing this in examples where like take a photo of a random street and it can be like, oh, that is Billund because it has a grass that only grows there or whatever. It can figure these things out. So these models, even these standalone models we have today are evolving, evolving, evolving. We're seeing reasoning being added into these models and multi-step planning so they can actually do complex tasks and take the results of one task and feed it into the next task and go and do these sorts of things. I kind of feel like this evolution, like if you're kind of looking at where we are today versus the future, this is kind of where we are today. For the YouTube in the future, this is, what month is it? May? May of 2025. So, but we're still going to continue to progress. You talk to the folks in the labs and what they're building, we're getting to the point where AI is starting to actually perform actions. Rather than the AI just telling us, oh, your project plan should do this, we're getting it to the point where it can start to do these little actions. And then the next step is it starts to use its smarts to anticipate what actions we might want and starting to decide what actions it's going to take on its own. Then we're going to start to see the next piece where multiple agents start talking to each other, making bigger decisions without humans. It's just a little drip, 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 but every day, every week, every month, a little bit more, little more, little more. The idea of AI operating on its own, most people call this agentic AI, a fancy term for AI agents. This is all the rage in the year 2025. Sam Altman wrote about this last September, in a blog post on his website, The Intelligence Age. The quote from that says, AI models will soon serve as autonomous personal assistants who carry out specific tasks on our behalf. I'm like, oh, that sounds good to me. I have a lot of very specific tasks that I would love an AI to carry out on my behalf. So, okay, let's look at this. Like, I want to have like some AI agents, so let me like think this through. Like, great, let's build some agents. Where do you even begin if you want to build some agents? I mean, I asked ChatGPT, how do I build an agent? It's going to tell me, like, oh, okay, you got to do this API platform. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of, like, I have to do all this work to build an agent. And if I build an agent that only does my expenses, or an agent that only checks RSS feeds and classifies, the competition's blog post or something like that, like I need a separate agent. Like, all of these things are things that I do every day. Like, why do I have to build an agent manually and plug it into this API, and I need a token here and an access and run this, and this is in the cloud, and this is over there. I just want my agent to do all the things I already do every day. Why do I have to build this all from scratch? I already have this on my laptop. I can do literally everything on my laptop as a human. Why do I have to build some new cloud-based token back-end whatever just to do these things. Why can't the AI agents use my computer? Why not? Indeed. That leads us to the computer using agent. Christian mentioned this in his opening keynote today. CUA, I don't know how people pronounce it, but this is an AI agent that's actually able to operate your computer. Quite literally, it can observe your screen, it can operate your mouse, it can click your keyboard. It's an AI agent that you point it at your computer, and it runs your computer for you. This is real. So look at all these websites. All the big labs are doing this. Microsoft has things. Google's doing things. Claude, computer use, OpenAI operator. You can play with these things today. OpenAI operator, you tell it, go to my LinkedIn and download, find my latest post and count up how many likes there are. And you'll actually see it thinking through, well, LinkedIn, that's a website, I need to go to this website. You see it moving, click, 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 and moving the thinkings on one side, the web browsers on the other page. You can actually see this thing going. Like, these are getting to a point where AI agent is actually kind of able to use a computer. Most people react to that and say, no way. I say, way. It's happening. I mean, and if you don't believe it's happening, it will happen. There's benchmarks for computer using agent benchmarks. There's a benchmark called OS World. This is from 2024, or about a little over a year and a half ago. These benchmarks, it has a set of tasks, like go to this spreadsheet, open the spreadsheet, click here, add it to an email, save it as an A4, print it, move it over here, change my background. So this is an open source benchmark for that. Not to be outdone, Microsoft made their own version called the Windows Agent Arena, which is also available. You can access both of these today. And by the way, these computer using benchmarks, both OS World and Windows Agent Arena, human scores in OS World about 72%. So that's like, I mean, I imagine all of us would get 100, but like what our moms could do or whatever. Human could do 72%. When the OS World came out originally, it was March 2024. The best agent did 1%. Solid. It's not March 2024, though. It's May 2025. The most recent results is April, doing 42%. Yeah, that's Esther's. I wish you could get Esther's face in here. She's like, ugh. Correct. Windows one, very similar. Humans can do 74%. When it first came out, the winner, the leading one was 19%. And the one from just this past month is now 52%. Asterisk, because the study's been published with the results, but the model's not open for other people to independently validate. But the point is, we're going there. The OS World one, incidentally, is a model called EUCTECHDK'25. I've got this running on my laptop. It's something you can do. I mean, this is a M4 with 128 gigs of RAM, so it's a big laptop, but like, you can run this actually on your laptop. They have a desktop project and set up, and you can play with it and actually run through and see it doing and clicking. I mean, it's a thing. And again, drip, drip, drip. We're getting there. And these computer using agents, the ideas with these is we can give it access to our whole workspace and let it do everything, which is sort of more wholesome and complete than the ability for us to create specific agent workflows or specific micro apps for agents to use for every workflow we need. And this, I think, is largely why micro apps failed. I'll pick on Citrix because I'm working at Citrix, but like, VMware was doing this and other people were doing micro apps and everything. Micro apps didn't really take off. And why not? I mean, it's just like too much effort. Every micro app, you got to custom build it. There's all these connectors, but not for everything. Not everything has a connector, and then someone has to like decide which workflows to expose. Someone's got to maintain it. There's only certain tasks and certain API interfaces and connectors it can do. Most organizations have like thousands and thousands of workflows, and whereas micro apps can, like, that's cool. You can do 12 things. You have 9,000 other ones to do. Like, yay. There's a high friction to scale. It's so much upfront work and coordination between IT and application owners and like security and the business owners. And of course, all these shadow workflows remained anyway. You build this great micro app and roll it out, but people kept on using like the real apps anyway since they knew it better, and like the micro apps were kind of narrowly focused and things like that. So like the very concept of micro apps has a few specific use cases, but it's not like we're going to take all the tasks we do across all the knowledge workers of the world and then build custom agents to do every single one of those tasks. There's just zero chance that that's happening. It's too expensive and complicated to make bespoke tasks like this. The other sort of thing about these micro apps we're building bespoke, it's like building bespoke robots versus humanoid robots. So I'm getting texts right now. I forgot to turn the phone off. The humanoid robots, well, let me ask you the question. Why do humanoid robots use the same form factor as humans? That's not an actual joke. And it's not like, because that's why they're called humanoid. I get it. But why are humanoid robots a thing? Because, exactly, thank you. The world is built for humans. You know, I want a robot that can drill. I want a robot that can vacuum. I want a robot that can iron. I don't need a custom robot with a vacuum attachment and drill attachment and these things. I have a drill. I have an iron. I have a vacuum cleaner. I want the robot to use the exact things that I have in my world. So the robots and the automation meeting the humans where they already are is the easiest on-ramp and the easiest way to get into this environment. So I argue the exact same thing is true when it comes to AI agents in the workplace, AI agents in the knowledge world, in the knowledge worker world, computer using agents, workspace using agents is the way that's going to happen. So it's crazy. So this fancy, modern AI agent is going to use some dumb old UI designed for humans. Nope. Really? That's so lame. That's so lame. Temporary workaround at best. It's expensive, it's clunky. Maybe this is the way to get it in there for now. But this kind of wrapping the old, lame, weird way of knowledge worker working to modernize it is very, very temporary. Very temporary. Very, very temporary. Yeah. For those Gen Zers in the world, this is the Citrix screens from the 1990s when a lot of us here began using Citrix. What was the benefit of like remote computing and server-based computing back in those days? MAPS, right? Management, access, performance, security. We had this dumb old computer that was like stuck to a desk and required Windows installation, but we wanted to make it accessible from anywhere, from any device, with modern management and modern security. And what did we do? We wrap it with this Citrix layer, and now it can be delivered in these modern ways. Hey, people thought that was going to be dead in a flash in the pan, and like by the year 2000, this is totally dead. Everything will be rewritten as web apps, and the world will go on. Well, I present to you the EUC Denmark conference, the EUCTech Denmark 2025. Solid year, hundreds of people here right now. So things that exist are going to exist for a while. And I like the idea of these agents using the same workspace as humans because it means you don't have to change anything. The continuity and ease of implementation, this gradual, manageable approach to AI adoption. We can address worker uncertainty about how to start with AI, because it can kind of start with little things here and there, maybe just watching them. We can enable experimentation and testing, all within familiar settings and a familiar environment. All of the existing security, management, auditing, updating, training protocols. You can roll in, you can roll out. Honestly, maintenance and ongoing training and updating, if you have AI using the same workspaces as your humans, nothing changes. The way you update applications, the way you do training, the way you monitor your environment, the way you handle change management, help desk, troubleshooting, auditing, optimization, all that exactly the same as what you're doing today. So this workspace environment is going to be relevant for a very, very long time. We talk about the workspace, right? What makes up a workspace? It's your apps, it's your data, it's your worker identity, it's some security, it's some context. You wrap all that together, that is the workspace. By the way, there's no worker yet here. This is just the workspace itself. A worker connects, and now the workspace is activated and work is being done. Yeah, for 30 or 40 years, that worker has been a human worker. I would argue there's no difference in the worker, whether it's a human worker or an AI worker. From the IT administrator's standpoint, do we even care? We have the same guardrails and boundaries and performance and security and auditing and all that kind of stuff. I don't even care whether the worker that connects is a human worker or an AI worker. It's someone's remote keyboard and mouse. Doesn't matter to me. That workspace, of course, today lives in many different form factors. It might be a Windows desktop. It might be a Windows desktop in the cloud on a VDI or DAS. It might be a secure browser environment. It might be a mobile environment. The worker itself is able to connect to multiples at the same time. A lot of us have our laptop open, and we're also doing things on our phone, multiple workspace instances together at the same time. Hey, let the robot connect too. The robot can connect into my laptop environment and kind of run alongside me. When the human goes home for the day, all my devices, I close the lid and they disappear. What is the robot to do? Put it in the cloud. Bink! Let the robot keep on running in the cloud, and off we go. If it's VDI, you're already there. Even if it's not VDI, even if it's just a modern worker, like with the BYO laptop and a secure browser, maybe make a small Linux container, put your Chrome Enterprise Premium in there, all your zero trust and security tools. So this, for me, sort of leads to my core thesis. Like, AI agents will behave like knowledge workers. They will use the same workspaces as humans. Those workspaces will not be tied to devices. And this usage pattern will last longer than we think. This is key. This usage pattern will last longer than we think. This is not temporary. Because remember, Windows is dead, right? Because Java's killing Windows. Java's killing Windows. Web apps are killing Windows. Flash is killing Windows. Ajax is killing Windows. Silverlight is killing Windows. HTML5 is killing Windows. SAS is killing Windows. Linux is killing Windows. Chrome is killing Windows. Mobile apps are killing Windows. Progressive web apps are killing Windows. Cloud is killing Windows. Universal Windows Platform is killing Windows. Electron is killing Windows. Internet Native is going to kill Windows. Man, Windows has a lot of lives. Nice work, y'all. So to me, they're like, oh, AI is going to kill Windows. I'm like, I've heard it before. I started working in 1994. I've been working for 31 years. Spare me about what's killing Windows. So my core thesis is the same as before. I'm going to add a fifth one on there. This is happening, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if I think that AI agents entering the existing working world is good. It doesn't matter if you believe it's good. It doesn't matter what we think. This is happening. So the way that I start to think about this, and the sort of guidance that I give people is, look, let's understand the personas, the worker personas in the age of AI, right? You all know personas. We've been talking about this for, 31 years, right? Like, you have your modern worker, who might be like a BYO plus an enterprise desktop. You have a task worker who needs like a shared desktop. You have a knowledge worker who needs like a full desktop. You have like a power user who needs a GPU. You get it, right? You've been doing these exercises. There's vendors that make tools for this. You've got developers who might need a cloud developer environment. You've got executives who need like whatever in the hell executives need. Well, I'll tell you what they need. They need the expensive version. But whatever this is, the personas is a human worker, right? There's not an AI persona on here. AI is going to be part of every single one of these personas. And every single AI itself is going to be a little bit different. So big model, little model, on-prem, in the cloud, from Microsoft, from OpenAI, something you built, something a GSI gives you, a custom one, whatever that is. Those models are going to work alongside with my human workers. So there's no AI persona. There's all personas have AI and human elements to them. And that's exactly it. If you look at the workplace, the workspace, again, this workspace exists. It's on your device. It's in the cloud. It's a VDI. It's a managed browser. It's a mobile, whatever that is. The workspace is activated by workers connecting to it. Some of those workers are going to be AI workers. Some of those workers are going to be human workers. It's all interacting with each other. It doesn't matter where the workspace is. It doesn't matter where the AI is. There's multiple types of workspaces. There's multiple types of AIs. They all sort of can exist anywhere. And that's what it's going to be moving forward. So what this means for us. Well, today, we deploy tools and applications into our workplaces. I think moving forward, we're deploying workflows, we're deploying assistance, we're deploying intelligence into our workspaces. I don't think the concept of a workspace changes much. Like I said, the existing security tools, the existing protocols, the existing guardrails, everything we have today. You don't trust a user, you turn on session recording. I can apply that to a human worker or to an AI worker. The same ways that we handle the problem users is the way we handle the problem users who happen to be AI users. So my takeaway in the final few seconds here is AI agents are real. They are evolving quickly. You do not need a full rebuild of your environment. You do not need to completely rethink your strategy for end-user computing. You just need adaptability for the future. All personas are going to be affected, not all equally, that's fine. But the workspace is still the point of orchestration, whether that is physical, virtual, or altogether invisible because AI is generating the UI from scratch. There's some model on whatever service I happen to be looking at. And again, this is happening whether you like it or not. So the good news, you're not falling behind. You are preparing to lead this next revolution. So with that, here we go. I'm so excited about the future of end-user computing. I've been doing this for 31 years, and I have never been as excited about what's ahead as I am right now. I'm living in this world all day, every day. I think about this kind of stuff. I have some links. I have a website, so I'm blogging on the Citrix blogs. I have a website, BMAD. There's no original content on there. Everything I'm writing is living somewhere else, so this is not a return to brianmadden.com, but like when this video goes live, when I do blog posts, if I'm on podcasts, everything I do, you can go to bmad.com/latest to see what I'm doing. You can also go to bmad.com/links to have all like the latest resources. So what podcasts am I listening to nowadays? What newsletters do I subscribe to? Who do I follow? That's all on there. So anyway, with that, I really thank you for the time today. I thank all the sponsors, to Thomas and crew who put together a fantastic event. I'm very honored that you've allowed me to kind of give the closing remarks here. And I think we can all agree is now let's play with some Legos. Thanks.